Good afternoon and welcome back to Turfentine on a day when we celebrate the White Horse. The White Horse Invitation Stakes run earlier today, and the White Horse Dingaans, the feature race which we're just about to see. We've just watched two of the greatest white horses who performed here at Turfentine, and interestingly, a few years ago, grey horses won the White Horse Challenge, the White Horse Dingaans, 3 years in succession, including, as you saw, Jungle Rock and Bodrum. The horses for the White Horse Dingaans of 125,000 rand are down at the start. Let's go through the field for you. Number 1, Blue Beret, ridden by Garth Pullo. 2, Bonanza Time, ridden by Barn Botes. 3, Chambray, ridden by Russell Waterston. 4, Mato Grosso, who looked extremely well cantering down. The pick of the parade, I thought, ridden by Mark Sutherland. 5 is Fast Gun, ridden by Rhys van Wyk. 6, Petros, he was sweating a bit today, but an imposing horse, ridden by Dougie White. 7 is Fearless Crown. He looked a bit wiry to me and a bit narrow going down, ridden by the ex-champion jockey Geoffrey Lloyd. 8, Real Fantasy, his stable companion, ridden by Paul Whitmore. 9, Son of Peter, ridden by Yanni Becker. The other half of the field, 10, Fierce Lad, ridden by Pierre Stratham. This colt was very above himself and bolted on the way down to the start, giving Pierre Stratham quite a hard time. Seems to have taken a lot out of himself. 11, Fluent Stride, he looked very well, ridden by Waishong Mawing. 12, Infidelity, ridden by Gary Waterston. 13, Military Muse, going for his 3rd win in a row, ridden by Felix Coetzee. 14, Mr. J, ridden by Stephen Just. 15, Rumpus, he looked well and full of himself, an outsider here, ridden by Jeffrey Freeman. 16, Velvet Cuffs, ridden by Benny Little. 17, the filly Avro Gold, ridden by Toby Van Bourma. And Jump Up and Kiss Me, number 18, the last in the field, the accomplished filly from last season, ridden by Blom. Well, the field is down at the start now. It's a very open race. 3 of the first 4 favourites in the field have drawn on the extreme outside. They're all drawn wide, and that will severely prejudice their chances. That's Petros, Fearless Crown, and Fluent Stride. But here is the favourite, Fast Gun, who Graham is looking very well today.
Fast Gun is looking extremely relaxed. He's looking as well as he did when he raced at the Vaal a couple of weeks back, when he was the most impressive winner, beating Son of Peter, whom he meets in today's race. Son of Peter, of course, a very useful sort of in his own right, having run second in the Natal Guineas. But Rhys, pretty confident that Fast Gun is going to run well here. This course, of course, where he won the Top Sport Bloodline Million as a 2-year-old. In fact, we're going to now see Fast Gun in action, and just to show you how his preparation's gone, let's have a look at Fast Gun.
3.5 to make up, and Tawny Red's on the inside. 200 to go. Son of Peter, the leader. Fast Gun between horses on the outside, coming home stoutly now. It's Fast Gun on the extreme outside, getting to the leader with 100 to go. Son of Peter can't go as Fast Gun, who's pulling away to win it. And Fast Gun now drawing clear to win a length and a quarter. Son of Peter, Tawny Red, then Miller.
Fast Gun was the champion 2-year-old of South Africa last year, and a son of the 26-year-old stallion Mexico, now deceased. And that's also a rarity. Here's Mato Grosso. He's unbeaten. He's had 3 starts, and he's won 2 of his 3 starts. He's by Favros out of Catalonia, and he won a class record time last time out. He looks extremely well, but yet, as yet, untried at the distance. Let's take a look at his last win.
A stride as well, 200 to go. Mato Grosso at this stage only under a hand ride, a length and a quarter. Tinker's Joy is coming out after him, but Mato Grosso on the stand side still in front. Turnberry is wearing down. Mato Grosso going to keep on finding from Turnberry, and Mato Grosso goes on to win it. Turnberry second, Blue Berets and Tinker's Joy.
Well, that was certainly a most impressive win from Mato Grosso, but whether he'll get the trip or not, that only the race will show. Well, there we see the latest betting. There was 7-2 on offer about number 5, Fast Gun, but that's been taken, and he shortened to outright favourite at 3-1. Steady support for Ormond Ferraris' runner, number 11, Fluent Stride, the mount of Waishong Mawing, and Fluent Stride is coming from 7-2 to be second favourite at 33-10. Number 7, Fearless Crown, one of 3 runners from the Dean Hemming stable, and Fearless Crown has won his last 3 starts. Has eased in the betting to 6-1. He's drawn a little wide, but not as wide as number 6, Petros, who's drawn worst of all. He jumps out the number 18 barrier position. He is stable companion to Fast Gun, and it's a tribute to his potential that from that 18 draw, he's quoted as short as 7-1. And despite the draw, I know Rhys van Wyk had a difficult task trying to make up his mind which to ride, Fast Gun or Petros. Petros also a winner of his last 3 starts. The Tony Millard stable, represented by number 13, Military Muse at 7-1. 4, Mato Grosso, 10-1. 10, Fierce Lad at 10-1. I'm a little surprised to see that he may still be running. He bowled 1,600 metres, but he's going to take his place in the lineup, and they're betting 14-1 bar those. In fact, they're pretty well into the loading process for the 125,000 Rand Dingaans. In recent years, Russell Laird has had a pretty good run. He's had Topa Inca to win it, he's had Lindbergh to win it, but I very much doubt now whether Fierce Lad is going to keep it rolling for the stable. Son of Peter is safely loaded into store gate 1. Military Muse is in. Infidelity, Chambray. I found that very interesting, Robin, that Chambray, Russell Waterston actually had the choice of rides. He had the choice between Chambray and Mato Grosso, and he elected to stay with Chambray.
Chambray is by Condorcet, and his progeny seem to have been best over long distances, but his form so far has been over 1,200 metres, and here he's running over what should be more like his correct distance. And he did look extremely well going down. He's got blinkers on, and he should run quite a good race, although he's up in class.
Yes, he is up in class, but he did beat a pretty useful sort in Ultraman last time out. And there's Mr. J in your picture, who's proving quite difficult. Formerly trained in Natal, he's only had 1 start in Johannesburg, finishing 2nd behind Military Muse. He should be held by Military Muse. He's been ridden by Stephen Jupp, quite full of himself, a son of the imported British-bred Free State.
He was a horse who changed hands, I believe, after his first 2 wins for a 100,000 rand and was brought here to the Transvaal. And Herman Vine, who's made such a good start to his training career, won first time out with him.
Well, Mr. J has gone in. Blue Berets standing quietly towards the outside. Blue Berets, the mount of Garth Fuller. He was, of course, let Garth having a chat to the guys holding the camera. Garth always very relaxed. He's got a wide draw to overcome. He's running in the Mazam colours this time, not in the Podless colours, but he's very satisfied with the way that Miss Averoff won the White Horse Invitation Stakes. And, of course, he won earlier in the day with Grey Angel. Going in alongside of him and having a chat to him now is Paul Whitmore and Real Fantasy, another of the Hemming runners. And Real Fantasy knows like himself. He's a colt with a lot of potential. He's my fantasy in reality. Mato Grosso starting to face up towards his inside stall. That's Fast Gun. You can look out for the green and red colours. Fast Gun, the favourite at this point in time, but only marginally so ahead of Fluent Stride.
Well, this is the race. Oh, we have a problem down at the start.
Now we
a loose horse.
Yeah, Robin, that's Mr. J, who was full of himself, and it looks as if we're going to have a delay to the start of this race. In fact,
well, I can't say it has been a very easy day for the White Horse Dingaans. First, we had the horse bolting on the way down to the start, and now we have a loose horse. Meantime, let's take a look at the betting. Now, looking down at the betting, I see that 5-2, the favourite. Yes, the favourite is 5-2. That's Fast Gun. 3-1 on some boards. Fluent Stride, 33-10. Fearless Crown at 6-1. Looks like they've caught that loose horse now, so he'll make his way back to the starting stalls, and perhaps in a few moments we'll have a declaration of whether or not he is fit to run. Fearless Crown has won his last 3 starts in a row, goes for his 4th consecutive win today. He's at 5-1 and 6-1 in the betting, but as Graham said earlier, very badly drawn. Petros is a Transvaal bred by Take Your Place. He's been very impressive in his last 3 wins. Again, the widest draw of all here, and it's 7-1. Military Muse, number 13, is at 7-1. He's a grandson of Nureyev. He's won his last 2 starts. He's a rather lean and wiry horse and a black in colour, but Tony Millard will be hoping that he can do something here today. Mato Grosso by Favaros, who was the champion sire last season. He looked extremely well going down. He's at 10-1. Fierce Lad at 10-1 and 14-1 and bar the others.
And having a look there, Robin and Mr. J, you mentioned that Herman Vine, who's a young trainer, has just joined the ranks of professional trainers. He's been assistant to quite a few trainers. Herman Vine has made such a terrific start to his career. In fact, it reads like so. He's had 6 runners and 4 winners. Now, for a young trainer starting out, that's quite some record at the beginning of your career. But quite clearly, today is his biggest opportunity of winning a feature race early in his career. The others have all been minor races. And I know for one that he would like to see Mr. J go back to the start and, if at all possible, join the other runners. The owner I spoke to earlier this afternoon, he was quite confident that Mr. J would finish up in the money. It's always disappointing to have a horse withdrawn from a feature race. There are other races every week, but the Dingaans comes but once a year in a 3-year-old's career.
And of course, it's very rare for a horse who gets loose like that to come and produce his best form, especially when he's taking on the highest class of horse. Against lower class of horses, it doesn't matter so much because sometimes the good horses are able to reproduce their best form and are a class above the lower class horses. But here today, against this class, it's going to be a miracle if Mr. J can produce his best form.
So you can see Stephen just trying to explain to all those who would be interested in listening to me what happened. I get the feeling that they're really not concerned with these troubles down there.
I was interested to see today that Fluent Stride is wearing blinkers, and he is my personal choice for the race. He is a horse who has only run once before in blinkers and ran disappointingly, so it's rather a worry that Ormond Ferraris has put blinkers on today. But he's a horse who, if he reproduces his best form from the 13 stall, could just about win today. And there, Fast Gun is going past Fluent Stride. Fluent Stride there with the yellow cap and the red blinkers. He's a son of Steady Beat, who was the first son of Alidar to arrive in the country. So this is the grandson of Alidar, and he's got off to a fair beginning at stud Steady Beat, and Fluent Stride easily his best performer to date. In fact, Fluent Stride was the first of the 3-year-olds to win in the B division this season.
Well, Robin, number 14, Mr. J, has now officially been scratched. So from the Dingaans, the White Horse Dingaans, you can scratch number 14, Mr. J, and that's a terrible disappointment, as we said, for young trainer Herman Vine, and of course for the owners. But the course veterinary surgeon had a look at Mr. J, decided that he had been put under enough stress, and has decided to scratch him. The loading process has started once again. A couple of the runners came out the gates just to let them relax and walk around. There's Garth Fuller once again on Blue Berets. Real Fantasy along his inside. Further to the inside in the pink colours, that's one to watch out for. Big Chance, Fearless Crown, who's the mount of Jeffrey Lloyd. He grabbed the ride when Reese van Wyk decided to go for Fast Gun. Fearless Crown, a winner of his last 3 starts, the son of Favros, like Miss Avros. Could it be a feature race double for the great sire Favros? Well, we'll know that in a few moments' time, because barring any other unexpected incidents, we should be on our way pretty shortly. Let's have a look. This is Petros, who's also won his last 3 starts. Stable companion to Fast Gun. He's drawn on the extreme outside. So this camera is situated on the far side. Now, they only go straight for 200 meters before hitting that first bend. So clearly to be drawn 18 is a big, big disadvantage. They're all inside now for the 125,000 rand White Horse Dingaans, number 14, Mr. J, a non-runner. The rest are sent on their way. Military Muse along the inside takes the early lead from Fierce Lad, is once again pulling hard in the early stages. Son of Peter, Matter, Grosser, Velvet Cuffs, Rumpers. I expected a bit of a rough race as they try to get across on that outside draw. Fearless Crown is going up around horses. Petros also trying to overcome that wide draw. Fluent Stride is beautifully placed. He's only 5 lengths off this leader. Real Fantasy is in behind them. Then Fast Gun. Reese van Wyk has him about a half a dozen lengths back. Along his inside is Matter Grosso. They were followed by Avaro Gold. Blue Berets is tramped very deep on the turn, racing 7 off this leader. Bonanza Time between horses. Chambray is being pushed along behind those. Following that is Jump Up and Kiss Me. Son of Peter's lost his good early placing, racing towards the rear now. Infidelity trails the Dingaans field as they turn for home. They've got 800 meters to go, and that's Piers Stratham along the inside. Fierce Lad with the white blaze. Joining him in front in the pink colours, pink sleeves and pink cap, is Velvet Cuffs. Fearless Crown is behind that racing third. I don't think the draw has been such a great disadvantage to Petros. He's moving up smartly in the white colours with a black cap in the centre. Fast Gun, his stable companions 2 lengths behind him, now beginning to lengthen his stride, and Fluent Stride is outside of those, and the scene is set for a great finish here in the Dingaans. Petros has the lead in the centre, but his stable companion Fast Gun is a lively threat. Fearless Crown down the inside, Fluent Stride, the filly Jump Up and Kiss Me. Petros and Fast Gun at Toby's fifth, 1-2 at this stage. Fluent Stride is coming home hard on the outside. Petros, Fluent Stride, Fast Gun, Military Muse is running on. They get down to the line, and Petros has won the Dingaans. Petros from the 18 barrier position has done it against all the odds. Very close for second between Fluent Stride and Fast Gun. Fearless Crown and Military Muse in behind those. A great, great finish and a great ride from Petros. Run from Petros and a ride by Doug White.
Petros confirms his greatness. That's 4 consecutive victories now. He won the Transvaal Breeders' Plate, the graduation, the bottom division, and now in the Group 2 White Horse Dingaans, he's won from a significant achievement from an 18 draw. Let's take a look at the final stages in slow motion.
Well, you know, Robin, Toby Spieth has always reckoned that Petros is a better horse than Fast Gun, but he was hard-pressed to actually be that confident from the 18 draw, and we can understand why. But with 400 to go, Petros is moving so well, and it was clear that draw had not really disadvantaged him. This is Petros in the white colours of the black cap. Fast Gun in the green and red behind him. Fluent Stride is delivering his challenge to the right-hand side of your screen in the black and yellow. Military News running on late down the inside. Fearless Crown finds no extra. The filly Avro Gold not disgraced within 3 lengths of the winner. But Petros goes on and wins it. It's very close for the minor placings between Fluent Stride and Fast Gun. Let's have a look at that slow motion replay. I would favour this side. Fluent Stride appears to have got second in the Dingaans. Fast Gun third. Military News fourth. Fearless Crown fifth. And Avro Gold sixth. But the winner, a superb performance from number 6, Petros.
And Petros, apart from being trained by Toby Spieth, is owned by Commandant Marshall Finley. It's the best horse that he's owned, and this victory will be very well received in the Transvaal by the Bosworth Stud Farm. Petros, number 6, the unofficial winner of the race. He's by the round table horse Take Your Place out of Pentecost by Hobnob, his dam, his sister, with the great filly Novena. The unofficial result of the White Horse Dingaans Group 2 1600 metres. Dougie White wins on number 6, Petros, and there is a photograph for the minor placings. We'll give the official victories of those later. In the meantime, thank you for joining us here at Turpentine. It's been a wonderful day.